Believe it or not, I'm maybe one of 100,000 or so worldwide players who are sincerely interested in law-based video games. It's a fairly niche genre, and it takes a special kind of player to be legitimately interested. While a few law games, okay, maybe literally only one series, have transcended the nerdy depths of gamingdom, most are relegated to the annals of the Steam store. This is one such game, a game I was legitimately excited to try. Man of Law, an early access game on Steam, has been on my radar since I first started this law review series. Yeah, it turns out the video game Man of Law rates pretty high for search results when it comes to searching for video games featuring law. So I added it to my wish list and waited for a sale. That sale finally occurred and I've fully played through it. Ready to see the end screen? Don't worry, no spoilers, although be warned that it is pretty bright. Here it is. Yeah, no idea what's happening. Unfortunately, that's pretty common with Man of Law. Now, before I get too deep in the negatives, in the event the developer somehow manages to see this video, please reach out to me directly on Twitter if you'd like some free help polishing this thing up. I want to help make it better rather than just becoming another voice complaining about its problems. Seriously, send me a DM on Twitter if you're at all interested in making this thing better. Playing this game was frustrating because of what it could have been. It's a lot like modern society as a whole. Okay, back to the game as it currently exists. Man of Law is bad. Really, really bad. However, it has some interesting ideas and some unusually thorough features, particularly when we consider the absolute catastrophe that is other parts of the game. This is one of those games where you read a complaint, a statute, perhaps some extremely brief witness testimony, and then make a ruling based on the application of the statute to the situation. Before I even get into anything else with the game, it's prohibitively difficult to understand or interpolate what's happening given the typos. It's really strange. I would generally think that English just wasn't the developer's primary language. However, there's a ton of really competent English language material in here, which is completely undermined by innumerable typos rendering testimony, laws, and even the story unintelligible much of the time. I seriously don't understand what happened. If it wasn't made in English, then the localization and English writing was clearly done in mostly competent English, but there doesn't seem to have been proofreading of any kind. It reads no goodly, and when reading is 99% of the gameplay, it's a big damn deal. Okay. Let's talk about the good ideas. A story mode. There's a full story articulating the career evolution of a judge. The story ranges from getting your first judicial position up to being a federal judge in charge of some particularly politically charged lawsuits ripped from the headlines of the Trump v. Clinton presidential campaign. Yeah, this thing takes an unusually political turn near the end, just FYI. Another good idea, extremely thorough rules and regulations. Much of the content for law-based games is statutes and application thereof. Man of Law has absurdly detailed statutes for you, the judge, to read, interpret, and apply to the given cases. However, with the typos I mentioned earlier, this really became a chore as the game currently exists. If the statutes covered more than 2 pages, I just gave up and picked the judgment I personally found most appropriate. But seriously, the depth of some things in this game is crazy. News coverage of your cases? Yeah. Notes from jurors and family? Yup. Ants crawling around on a plaintiff who invested in ant farms? You better believe it. Next up, a legal skill check. After making several decisions, I was faced with a test of general legal knowledge. I passed, but the character was eventually faced with nightmares featuring the story of King Solomon from the Bible. Know it? Go Google 1 King 3:16-28 when you have a moment. The game addressed and made the player consider the type of existential dread legal professionals likely face, particularly those practicing family or criminal law. It actually took the time to contemplate the psyche of the judge, a significant step beyond other law review games I've played. Heck, you even get to be involved in choosing a jury. I haven't seen one of these games involve voir dire before now. That's pretty damn impressive. Alright, on to the bad. The game just isn't finished and has seemingly been abandoned. I hope this video will help the developer understand the game's unique position to those of us interested in these types of games. With any luck, the devs will take another look at some of this stuff. First, the game doesn't save your progress when you exit out of it. There's a discussion board post noting this issue from January 2018. It was released into early access just a month beforehand, however, it clearly still hasn't been resolved. My total playtime was around 2 hours, and you cannot save and exit the game. Second, I have no idea what happened with the ending. I played the darn thing all the way through and sincerely don't know what happened. When you factor in the typos, I'm just not sure what was going on for most of the story. Moving on, the character art seems to be taken from various movies, TV shows, and even rap albums. Seriously, if the devs want to fix this thing up, something has to be done about the characters. Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Tom Cruise, Kim Kardashian, Donald Trump, and Hillary Clinton are just a few of the recognizable photos you'll see in a playthrough. Also, the testimony, witnesses, etc. are all pretty shallow and often irrelevant to the case. Given the detailed statutes, it's disappointing the rest of the court-relevant processes are so menial. Plus, the politics-heavy final few cases seemed wildly out of place. Adding insult to injury, the whole game is a damn reading simulator at this point. No problem, that's pretty common for this type of game, so it's important that the reading makes sense, right? And that the reading be easy to understand in terms of formatting, right? How about the ultimate question in a game? Was I doing well? Rulings were founded upon my most basic assumptions about what the author was trying to say in the writing. There's no indication of any of your cases being overturned on appeal or anything like that. We get no feedback on the decisions except that we may be faced with one of those skill checks I mentioned. I can't be sure, but it seemed like that occurred as a result of me making the wrong decisions. So, do not buy this game for full price. If you're actually interested in this type of thing and have the time to play it all the way through without exiting the game, it's probably worth maybe $2 tops as it currently exists. But there is so much potential here. This thing could be really fun if it was developed a bit more.